Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you so much for dropping by. So, oh my heavens, day 18. So, just to be transparent, this is filmed the next morning. I normally do it at nighttime before I go to bed. Yesterday was, once again, a very hard day. It's very easy for me to recognize that I need an other power for salvation, not just in the big picture, but in the little picture, the salvation of this life. As I've shared before, I've been suicidal many times, have very severe addictive tendencies, very severe complex PTSD, which is related to, but just 10 times trickier than standard PTSD to treat and heal. So yeah, yesterday I was really depressed most of the day and numbing out. It's interesting though. I also had a date in between the depression and numbing out, which just felt like such a deep grace from Amita. It was actually really amazing how the date came about. I was just feeling so low about maybe 8 days ago, and it's like, oh, my life's a mess, and I'm never gonna have another partner. I'm probably never gonna have another date. That's how low I was feeling, and then just really giving it over to Amita and asking for his help, and then a half hour later, I bumped into this person and asked her out, and so it's really the date felt like a gift from Amita, and it ended up being one. This, um, you know, Amita, this path is for ordinary people. This is not a complicated path. We sure make it complicated. I make it complicated. And this person, she has a lot of depth to her, and just her ordinary goodness just shines through. I asked her, I was like, what's most important to you? She's like, peace and having inner peace and spreading love. And it was just, I think I was just really open to, let me backtrack a moment. Part of getting on this Shin path for me has been letting go of like big goals and big, complicated spiritual ideas, and just getting really simple. And I was just so struck when she said that. I was like, this is a really pure soul I'm talking to. Not necessarily pure in the Buddhist sense of the word, but a really good being that I'm talking to. And I was just so struck by the simplicity and yet the profundity of what she was saying. And yeah, so it was a really hard day otherwise, and very hard. And amidst that hardness, there's little ounces of grace showing up, which I'm not used to. Normally, when I struggle and get into addictive behaviors, it's just like I dive in and I stay in suffering for days or weeks, sometimes months. But there's little pieces of grace showing up, like this date, and then we hung out a second time, and that day, and I went to bed early. Normally, when I get into this, I just stay up all night, watching movies and surfing the internet. And I went to bed early. And there's normally I get into this place of hopelessness, and now there's this clarity that there is a higher power or an other power which can save me. Now there's some doubts whether it will. It's not so much doubt in him, there's doubt in whether I'm going to be able to surrender. So there is this deep pain and suffering and a kind of hopelessness, but it's not bottomless hopelessness. And I know that's like a funny kind of progress, right? But bottomless hopelessness sucks. But this is more like, well, I know there's hope, but there's just kind of despairing that I'll be able to access that hope. Um, so it's a very funny kind of progress. So yeah. So I think that's all I'm going to share for right now. Thank you so much for dropping by. Namo Amida Butsu.